This video is sponsored by Card Kingdom. You can pre-order Dominaria United right now by going to cardkingdom.com/needsahone or following the link in the description. So, thanks to Wizards of the Coast for inviting me to do this draft. Also, thanks to Card Kingdom for sponsoring me. If you want to pre-order Dominaria United, you can go to cardkingdom.com/needsahone or click on their logo below. So check them out. This is, our first pack one, pick one was not great, and I don't think this one is either. Pain Land is nice. Tori to Avenant, we just had some good experience with her. But man, this pack doesn't really have a single card in it that I like the idea of first picking, which is really weird. Like, not even a dual land. Hunter-gatherers, we think of it as really hard work, but generally you worked a lot less than we do today. And that's true of hunter-gatherer societies that still exist today. So, anyway, God, what do I want here? Battlefly Swarm, the dual land. I mean, fixing's good, and this pack's so bad that I think I am just going to take the fixing. See what happens. I mean, I don't get to keep any of these cards, so the rare drafting doesn't really mean anything. So, keep that in mind. Okay. This pack is certainly better. I like Scout the Wilderness. It interests me. When you kick it, you get 2 bodies in the land. Tolarian Terror is not a bad spell payoff. We do have a couple duels here that are both pretty good. Probably just Phyrexian Rager. This is a reprint from, original Invasion Block. This whole set is filled with Invasion Block references for us old people. And Phyrexian Rager is a reprint, and I like it. I think I like it more than Dragon Whelp. I think that's really what I'm looking at. Kavu's not bad either. But yeah, I just take the Rager. I mean, it's a 2-for-1. Hard to go wrong there. But I do think we take the Pain Land in that pack just because there were, this opens up a lot more possibilities. Plus, I like the art on it, as we discussed earlier. And, the pack just didn't have anything in it that was much better than decent. So, feels like taking a Pain Land does have more upside in that particular case. Okay. All right, so I do like Queen All in All, but, she's 2 colors. And, I think we'll probably just take Cut Down. It's a great removal spell. Kills most 1, 2, and 3 drops, and then also kills a smattering of way more expensive things, too. So, yeah, it's a nice removal spell. Premium for sure. Seems like the kind of card people are going to underrate because they see, the requirement, and they're like, that's not very good. But it's like, okay, well, compare it to what Lightning Bolt can do. Kills most of the same stuff. Lightning Bolt has the upside of also being able to go face. Obviously, it's better, but the comparison, I make it for a reason. Could just take a duel here. Could also take Griffin Protector, which definitely think is better in a deck that's really going wide than in, something else. But it's not a bad card in general. Duels are interesting, especially the black one. We have 2 nice black cards, so... Do like Hammer Hand if we're going to be aggro. We don't know that we are, though. Right now, it doesn't really feel like we are with the 2 cards we have, but... I think I grabbed Griffin Protector. Okay, so we could grab another Pain Land, and this one actually does line up with what we're doing. I do think Gibbering Barricade in a grindy deck isn't bad. We do have Shield Wall Sentinel, which searches up defenders, which is nice. Wooded Ridgeline, Impulse. I mean, this is a reprint that's kind of crazy. I think, people are so used to Anticipate. This is from Tempest Block originally, and it's very good. It's going to be in Constructed all over the place. So we're kind of looking at Barricade, kind of looking at Caves. I'm leaning Barricade, just because I'm not sure about white being our secondary color. So. Okay. This pack has some nice stuff in it. We've got a Destroy Evil, another Phyrexian Rager, a Sanger Connoisseur, an Urg, Juniper Order, Root Weaver. This pack is stacked. You know, we did not see a pack like this as our pack one pick one, and a bunch of stuff has been taken out of it even. Kind of thinking about Urg, just because he's a sweet signpost uncommon. Rager, Connoisseur, and Destroy Evil are fine too. I'm leaning Urg. You know, try out one of these 2-color decks. That's what we did in our first draft. Looking to see if that's what we want to do here. Okay. So yeah, it feels like we're going to be a grindier sort of deck. There's another Destroy Evil. Another Fires of Victory too. This card's weird, man. It just has such a wild range, what it will do, and that's why people are sort of steering clear. Scout the Wilderness is interesting. If we're going to be like a green-black deck, splashing white for it so we can kick it isn't bad. But because of the uncertainty about all of that, I think we just take one of these decent 1 and 2 drops like Battlefly Swarm. Okay. Could just take a Metal Worker. I mean, it does fix your mana. It's an okay card. Flowstone Infusion is probably the best card in this pack. You know, we saw the Phalanx perform pretty well for us in that last game, last deck. But you got to really be getting there and going wide or you don't want it. Snare Spinner's not bad, but I think Infusion is enough better that I'm going to take it here. We'll see what happens. Definitely, you know, we played like an all-in aggro deck first draft. This one seems more like it's going to be grindy nonsense. Yeah, I mean, the Warhorse is okay. It's not something I love. Same thing for the Herbalist. Same thing for Smash to Dust. You know, Tidepool Turtle, you know, if we're going to end up in a grindy control deck, Tidepool Turtle's not a bad thing to have. But I'd probably just take the Warhorse. It's not terrible, and it does cut black, too, which matters in terms of signals, so... Okay, so got a duel. We also have Scout the Wilderness, which we've looked at a little bit. And, you know, all three of these green cards, I think, and if we're in a black-green sort of deck, are things that we're interested in for sure. I'm leaning towards Scout, although, you know what? Never mind. I think the Bog, you know, the Bog is good. It already lets us splash something if that's what we want to do. Okay, so maybe we take a blue card here. I do like Phyrexia and Espionage. Like, one copy seems fine. I do like the blue-black spell deck is one of the ones I'm most interested to try out. So, all right. So, Mana Worker, Herbalist. I guess we're just going to grab a Mana Worker. We're very uncertain about our secondary primary color, but black is definitely our main one. I'll take an Impulse. Okay. So we probably take Leyline Binding here. We do want to grab some more fixing and stuff. But it's strong enough. I think we take it here. Night of Dusk Shadow and Vohar are both really good too. There's no guarantee we're like a blue block nonsense deck here. If there was, I think I'd probably take Vohar. But, you know, I guess we did see some decent blue cards late. But Leyline Binding is a powerful enough removal spell and easy enough to splash that I think we just take it. Yeah. The World Spell. Not good and limited. Don't play it. Ooh, so now there's a Bortuk Bone Rattle, huh? That is tempting for me. Okay, I think that's what we do. I think we lean now more into black-green. We do need to pick up some more duels to be really happy with Bortuk, but even without them, he's quite good. Yeah, so black-green I think is where we're headed now. I do like Urborg Repossession, too. Black-green is what I mean. I feel like I just said red. So Adakar Waste probably doesn't help us. We might splash Flowstone Infusion, but I don't think we need to. We definitely splash Leyline Binding. So there's another Urg. I think we probably grab another Urg. We are interested in these Scout the Wildernesses now because we want to splash white anyway, and then, you know, we can kick it, but having 2 Urgs seems pretty good. Setting up the graveyard nonsense and gaining life, and it gets big eventually. Okay. So, I do like Talos Lookout. If we decided to stay blue, it's pretty nice. The Goblin's pretty good, but I think we grab Scout the Wilderness. We've got a Leyline Binding and a Bortuck Bone Rattle. Those both really want us to have the right kind of lands, and this can ramp us and set up our lands. So I think we take it here over a Splatter Goblin. Yeah, and I mean, you know, it's sort of like Kaldheim, where you had these common duels that brought extra value to the table, and that makes them all, like, extra good. So, yeah, I mean, it definitely... There is temptation. So we could take a duel here. We could also take Urborg Repossession. Kind of feel like the duel's pretty good. We could try to splash Tatyova. I mean, that's a real possibility, too, but we are a ways into the second pack, and we don't have that much fixing. So I don't love that plan. Yeah, I do like Urborg Repossession. Shield Wall Sentinel does get us a thing, but yeah, I think we take Contaminated Aquifer here. I would have rather had a dual land that produces white, but the Aquifer is going to be useful for us. There's another one here. So here's the thing with an off-color kicker that's pretty powerful if you can ramp into it. I think we take the Elvish Hydromancer here over Aquifer. The Vine Wall is interesting. But yeah, we'll take a Hydromancer. We do have, you know, the Aquifer we just took helps us occasionally kick this, and that's enough of a reason to play it, I think. So. We want dual lands that make white mana for Scout the Wilderness and Leyline Binding. Plus, it makes Bortuck Bone Rattle better, too, so. You do kind of want to make sure you have enough 2s and 1s so that in a fail case, you can still reanimate something directly to the board. Okay. So, this could be a useful duel, but I feel like Extinguish the Light is good enough that I just take it. I'm not convinced I'm splashing Flowstone Infusion. So, yeah. Leaning towards Extinguish over Ridgeline. Hello, Eidolon. Welcome to the stream. Okay, so we could take another Scout, but I think getting one Urborg Repossession is pretty crucial in this deck. You know, it just gives you such good value. And I'm not convinced we're going to be playing the Scout anyway. We may just end up being a black-green deck that doesn't care that much about Domain, which would be okay, you know. Except for that I really want to splash Leyline Binding like that. That is a thing, but, yeah. Okay, so this does help fix our mana. I don't love how clunky it is, though, in terms of its stats and everything. Bone Splinters looks okay in our deck, but not great. I'd probably just take another Phyrexian Rager, frankly. Yeah. Give me the 2-for-1s. So, Connoisseur. Yeah, I don't really want any of this. The Connoisseur's okay. Barkweave Crusher's okay. I guess the Connoisseur's a little better. Gets bigger when things die. We need to lower our curve a bit. I mean, we're definitely a grindy deck, so it's not like we need a million 1s and 2s, but a few more would be good, and some better mana would be good. Those are the 2 things I'm asking for. Interesting. How many Clerics do we have right now? 0. So we have the Cleric Lord. We also have Phyrexian Vivisector. With 0 Clerics, the Vivisector's just better, and there's no guarantee we get enough Clerics. I mean, we could, but, you know, it's, if I had, like, 2, I probably would have taken it, but this is a fine 2-drop anyway. Broken Wings. Probably don't play it, but it isn't the end of the world if we do. Doubt we're a Gaia's Might deck either. Volsha Tide Turner. Okay, interesting. So, you know, we've got two of the really cool Defender cards here. This is a deck I really want to make happen, and I think Wingmantle Chaplain looks like a very good, like, win condition in that deck. And the Bulwark makes things lose Defender and all that nonsense. So they're both really cool cards. So our options here are another Extinguish, an Elfheim Worm, and a Haunted Mire. If I could splash white, I'd probably take the Chaplain. But right now, we're not doing a great job at splashing the one white card we have, so I don't think that's where I go. I think we either take the Mire or an Elfheim Worm. We don't exactly have powerful high drops, so I'm leaning a little towards Elfheim Worm. The Music Bug, I haven't heard it yet, but I think maybe my settings had things a little low. Okay, so here's a land that actually helps us. Is there anything else in this pack I'm going to regret not taking? Necromass looks pretty good. Obviously, Jaya's crazy good, but this is one of those situations where you're late in the draft, and you can't really shift into it. I mean, we do have a lot of black cards. We're close enough to mono black that we could kind of consider it, but I don't think it's close enough, you know? I think we'd have to give up some pretty good stuff. So I think we have to sadly take our Sunlit Marsh and move on. Man, all the black-red cards showing up. Okay. Ridgeline could help us some. Warleech doesn't look terrible in this deck. Neither does Necromass. What do our creatures look like? Do we like Choking Miasma in this deck? I don't know. Maybe. I think I'm going... I don't want another Extinguish. Oh, we already only have one. I thought we had two. Never mind. I'm taking the second Extinguish. Another Vivisector is okay. Yeah, that's what we'll take. This deck kind of feels like it's not coming together to me in terms of... like, how do we win? We do have a bunch of removal and some sweet graveyard stuff, and we're splashing some cool things and stuff, but yeah. I think we probably don't end up playing Scout the Wilderness in this thing. Although it does help us find our white for Leyline Binding. I don't know. Maybe we do end up playing it. Flowstone Infusion seems less likely. Geothermal Bog. Okay, so we've got a card that mills us, which can set up some of our stuff. We've also got Cult Conscript, which just keeps coming back. Geothermal Bog isn't bad, but we do already have one. And we're not even sure we're splashing red, so... kind of leaning towards Conscript. We're not that good at Domain, so Sojourner's not going to be good. Yeah, we'll just take the Conscript. Doesn't feel as good as our first deck of the day. I can tell you that. Vivisector or Swarm. We've already got a couple Vivisectors. I guess we'll take another Swarm. Bone Splinters doesn't seem bad, but we have enough other removal that I'm not desperate for it. The Gardener does help us splash our Leyline Binding. Should I just bite the bullet and take one even though I don't love it? Yeah, maybe. We are trying to splash a powerful card. Okay, so... got a Contaminated Aquifer. Could splash Espionage, and I guess we are splashing Hydromancer for its ability, which I guess means we probably do just want the Aquifer here. We've got two blue lands now, which is good. And it also makes, like, Borntuck, Bone Rattle, and Leyline Binding better if we can just, you know, have some duels around. This is interesting. Threats undetected. As is Shieldred's Restoration. We don't have anything that's that worth reanimating, unfortunately. Otherwise, I'd be a little more interested. You know, casting this for, like, 5 is doable. I think I'm going to take Threats Undetected. It's a weird rare. It looks like it's worth trying out. All right, we'll grab another duel in Haunted Mire. Can't really splash her. Necromass doesn't seem terrible in our deck. It does go well with our... Oh, we didn't end up taking that worm, did we? Yeah, I don't think so. This deck seems not great. Thank you for the gift sub. Ooh, well, okay. Now I think we do take a War Leech. We could consider a Miasma to slow down the faster decks, but I think we need something like a War Leech. We could even splash Balduvian Atrocities kicker. That's not, you know, we have one Geothermal Bog. Might be worth it. So it does stink we only got one dual land that produces white. Random Vivisector. Don't feel like we have that much finishing power in this deck. Black-green is Graveyard Domain in this set. So, in terms of self-mill, do we really have enough to make Necromass worthwhile? I kind of think the answer is no, because it's just our Urgs. Right? We'd have sacrifice effects and stuff, but yeah, I don't think we can play the Necromass. I do think we end up playing Scout the Wilderness. You know, the ramp doesn't hurt us, neither do, I mean, getting Domain isn't bad either. We have two Aquifers. So Espionage could be a thing. It's probably not quite enough to do it, though. Yeah. Don't love the Warhorse. It's probably a cut. Is this actually worth it? How many different powers does this deck have? Can we search up... Like, that's 4, 5, 0, technically, I guess. Yeah, having these weird star creatures actually is good with threats undetected. But if we don't have enough different powers, so we've got 1, 2... Doesn't feel like we have enough. We still haven't seen any new ones. 3, 4... Also 4. 5... 6. We have 6 different powers for threats undetected. I mean, that may actually be enough. The question is paying 3 and getting the 2 worst creatures out of the 4 going to be worth it? Seems that they don't go to the graveyard, but they didn't want to have a repeat of Gifts Ungiven. Makes sense, right? The Atrocity's not great in the deck. I mean, sure, we can pay the red sometimes, but I don't think I care that much. I do think we just play the Geothermal Bog effectively as one of our swamps so that it makes Bortuk, Bone Rattle, and Leyline Binding a little better. And then, yeah, it's probably threats detected. I do need to run... I need to run, like, one basic island that this can search up, too, so that we can pay the kickers on some of these. Yeah, I think this actually works well in this deck with star creatures. Question is, would I rather have Scout the Wilderness or Deathbloom Gardener? It's kind of the question, isn't it? And we're not desperate enough for blue that we need to like be able to search it up. That's more true of white, though. Interesting. So maybe we just cut a Vivisector and roll with this, and then we need to change our mana some. I guess all of our duels produce black. That's why it only wants us to run 3 swamps, because we have 3, 4, 5, 8 black sources. We only need to run 1 plains, so I think we add in an island. No, we don't. You know, if we can kick this, we can kick it, but I don't think... Yeah, we don't need to add in an island. Probably need to add in... another swamp more. We have 8 green. Yeah, I mean, we have so many black cards that I think we want to add another swamp. So, yeah. The Atrocity's cool, but we're not using it that well, and we have basically 1 red source, occasionally more, thanks to our Gardener, but I don't love it. I'd like it more if I was like an aggro deck, basically, like a black-red aggro deck, but... And that's our deck's problem, is I don't think we have like a great win condition. And we're not very good at being aggressive in the early game, so how do we win? Let's find out. Let's find out right now. Okay. We do have blue, so we can kick this at some point, potentially. We have all the colors we actually want, which is nice. I mean, I guess our big frog guy can win us some games. But yeah. Slow start in this hand. We're more likely to need white in the nearest future than we are some of this other stuff. So I think we play Sunlit Marsh first. Volshay Tide Turner. I see you're setting up your mana. We will do that as well. I mean, we're going to try to grind out some graveyard value, I guess, and that's how we're going to try to win, but good luck to me. Wonder if they're a legit defender deck. Like, if they play next turn the one that makes bird tokens, that's going to be pretty bad for us. That will be pretty bad. So... I guess I'm going to attack here. No, I'm not. I'll just play Deathbloom Gardener. End our turn. So do they play the Spirit token making one? No, they just play Griffin Protector, which I also don't like, but, you know. There's our defender. I could just play Sanger Connoisseur here, though, and I kind of like that plan. Yeah. Yeah, we'll just play out our flyer. Our own flyer. In the turn. Can kick this soon. Can actually do it in 2 turns. So if our Connoisseur is still alive, making a copy of that is pretty spicy. Ooh, we need removal. That thing is good. Generates a token every time they cast an instant or sorcery. We have a bunch of removal, but we need to find it. That is not it. Okay. So I could play the Barricade here and threaten to make my Connoisseur bigger, at least. Oh, no, I can't, because I have to spend mana. So, do I attack with Deathbloom Gardener here? Just see if I can make something die. I have blue now without it, so... Well, I did anyway, but now I don't have to spend extra mana for it. I also have the advantage of Urborg Repossession, so... Yeah. Let's attack with our Deathbloom Gardener. Not like it can block anyway. That is spicy. That means my Connoisseur gets bigger. I didn't really expect him to block. Okay. Well, let's play our Barricade here. This deck has 3 or 4 removal spells that can kill Turek and Urid. Oh, God. That's not so good. Now we want to kill that even more. So we can kick Hydromancer. No, we can't. Because we let our Gardener die. 2, 3, 4, 5. Yeah, so I think we play Vivisector and then leave up the mana for the Barricade's ability. Yeah. Okay, so there's one of the Defender payoffs. It scares me a little less than the other two, but it's still pretty good. I wonder if I should try to block with the Connoisseur and sack something. And they're not going to give me the option, which to me means they're a little concerned about that. I think we go ahead and do this. Give up our Mana Worker. Gives us a counter, draws us a card. Seems pretty good. Oh, hello. 3, 4, 5, 6. And we have a fairly high domain right now. So yeah, we definitely leave that on top. So we can play Bone Rattle and reanimate either of these if we want to. Could also just play Phyrexian Rager. Leave up mana again. They are going to try to start milling us out, is our problem. Finding removal seems like a good idea. So for now, I think we're going to Rage. Okay, that's pretty nice, actually. So let's play Urg. End our turn. So our domain is full. We have all 5. Didn't really try to make it happen, but there we go. Yeah, we really need removal for both Danitha and Turacanurid. Like, they're both pretty big problems. I like that they're not attacking us, though. I can tell you that much. Okay, there's the removal we're looking for. So, do I attack with Singer Connoisseur here? And I can just reanimate it if it dies, but I can also threaten to use Extinguish the Light. Like if they double block. It is a little risky. But I guess I'm gonna go for it. Okay, I like getting in for the damage. So what do I do now? That's the question. We're still 1 mana shy of kicking this. I guess we just leave up Extinguish the Light here. They do get to attack us. Like, the reason they can just take that is mostly because Danitha, I guess. Danitha, I guess, is more of a problem than the 2 flyers right now. So I guess we'll pass the turn. See what happens. We can also leave up this ability for what that's worth, which it does matter, so. They may mill us some, which could set up our Bortuk. That'd be pretty cool. Well, now we can reanimate a Phyrexian Rager. It also made our Urg into a 1/5. I guess it's not the best matchup for Coral Colony, because they can make our cards better. Oh no, multiple Coral Colonies. Oh my god. Almost feel like I need to kill a Coral Colony now. Wild. Whew. Okay. I do gain 3 if I do that. It does seem like more of a problem right now. They can mill us out. I mean, I guess they're going to make some of our cards better, like I'm saying, but it seems to me like they can probably mill us out faster. So I'm going to go ahead and Extinguish the Light of this Coral Colony. It also makes them use the ability now if they're going to use it for what that's worth. And that is worth something. Yeah, so they mill us here. How big is Warleech right now? Not that big. There's this weird card. Do I leave it on top? See if we can do something silly with it? Or would I rather try to draw a land and finally kick my Hydromancer, which can probably, like, win us the game? Yeah, we're gonna get rid of it. Yeah, there's a land. Okay. Well... So, yeah, we go ahead and attack again, I think, with our 6/6. I guess making a copy first might have been better. But, yeah. Alright, so, yeah, we'll play Hydromancer here. We'll kick it. Definitely think we make another one of these. Oh, no. That's more defenders, and they can probably search up the one that makes a bunch of 1/1 birds. And that one... Okay, they can't. That one's still pretty good here, I guess. And it does make them mill even more. Again, they do risk some bad things happening when they mill us, but... Urborg Repossession. Yeah, so we put that in the graveyard. Monstrous Warworm is a 4/4. Battlefly Swarm would give us another flyer. Phyrexian Rager draws us a card. Just trying to decide how I want to approach this. We're down to 14 cards, so milling is a very real threat. If I attack with both of these, they do have to block, but they could just kill our poor Connoisseur. Alright, so we're going to attack them again. Splashing is easy. Well, it's easy, but you do have to prioritize lands like in Kaldheim. Same thing. I mean, that is why it's easy. All right, so they're going to block. That's nice. That makes this one bigger and that one bigger. I can get back any permanent, but that doesn't do us a whole lot of good here. So I think we just play Bortuk Bone Rattle, mostly just to go a little wider here. And what do we get? So they're going to start tapping down our best attacker every turn. I think having another large attacker is good. We can sack our Bortuk Bone Rattle to turn this into a 6/6. So, yeah, let's get our War Leech. And end our turn. Well, I'm glad I killed that other coral colony. I can tell you that much, because they would have milled us out even faster. Maybe we need to stop milling ourselves, huh? We'll leave the Vivisector on top. Okay. So, we got some good attacks here, for sure. We can also sack lands to make this bigger. Yeah, so... I believe... we attack with this, 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 and this. And this. Yeah. They didn't tap anything, which I think was a mistake on their part, but I'll take it. Down to 13 cards. They have 1, 2, 3, 4 defenders. So we're going to sack Bortuk Bone Rattle here. so they don't gain the life. And then this will also kill the Academy wall. That works for me. It's kind of unfortunate that this only triggers once a turn, because it would be really crazy good if it triggered more, but, you know. Okay, so we use our barricade here to sacrifice Bortuk Bone Rattle. Yeah, put it on the bottom. Because, like, drawing removal or something there would have been nice. And then we'll also sack one of our lands to make this a 4/5. So we wreck their whole board. We are down to 8 cards. I could kick Urborg Repossession. Obviously, getting back Bortuk Bone Rattle is pretty strong. Do I just play another creature so that I can go wide enough next turn? The only thing is, like, the lifelink makes it a lot harder for us to want to go wide. But I guess it is what I'm going to do. So they're down to 2 defenders. And they lost their Coral Colony, so I think we might be okay. I guess we'll see. Well, that was fun. I mean, I think that's a good matchup for us. I think what we don't want to run into is a really fast aggro deck. But yeah, we just got to sort of grind out all the value in the world there with death triggers and getting stuff back from our graveyard and all of that, which was pretty sweet. You know, if my income increased enough on this channel, on the YouTube channel for Magic, I would have more time to do that. So, you know, pretty good hand. We've got Leyline Binding ready to go, which I think is good news. And we've got Urg, can mill some stuff and so forth. Oh, this is Reed Duke. Great. That's always fun, playing against the Hall of Famer. Okay. Ooh, we don't have green mana. Oh, we drew it, actually, so we're fine. But we didn't at first. Nishoba Brawler. Yeah, so I guess we just play another tapped land. Probably get hit for 2 or so by this Nishoba Brawler. Yeah. Yes, we do. And then we play our Forest. So we can cast our Urg. Leyline Binding online for only 2 mana already. You know, our deck's not that good at getting Domain, but we keep getting our duels in our opening hand, so that's a good idea to have people donate money for content. So, because I have Urborg Repossession, I don't see there being that much risk in blocking here. There's risk to be sure, but not enough. There's our threats undetected again. I mean, drawing it's okay, I guess. We will go ahead and draw it. Alright, so let's play our Deathbloom Gardener, who we're probably going to play more as a Death Toucher here than a mana creature. And also throw out the Cult Conscript. Threats undetected. Gonna be interesting. So, they can attack. Like, they can, buff this up and attack us, but I would just block with Deathbloom Gardener, obviously. Uh-oh. Well, that's something we're going to have to kill with Leyline Binding. Indestructibility doesn't matter there. Okay, so we definitely want Bortuk as well. So we can cast our threats undetected here. We don't have much else to do, so I think that's what we're going to do. And then leave up our Leyline Binding. I think waiting to enlist. The question is, Do I want to let them scry, or do I think there's more value in them just choosing to enlist Guardian of New Benalia? I don't know. Let's cast Threats Undetected, and it'll be funny. So, different powers, huh? So, I like grabbing Monstrous War Leech, gives us a 0. Elfhame Worm gives us a beefy creature. Singer Connoisseur gives us a 3/3. We still need we can grab a 2. I guess Phyrexian Rager isn't bad. This actually kind of works out okay. I mean, they have to give us 2 pretty good cards. I mean, if I was, like, further behind, this would not work out. Yeah. It does stink that it's Reed Duke. You know, pro players are really good at these sort of fact or fiction, gifts ungiven decisions, more so than your typical person. But it's not that hard of a decision anyway. I think... It's, you know, it's not an easy decision. Yeah, they gave us the 2 worst cards, but the 2 worst cards are, like, fine. So, you know. Do I Leyline Binding that Guardian? You know, I think we do. We don't really want to let them scry. Nah. Get out of here. And then we end our turn. Not a bad use of 3 mana to get an Elfhame Worm and a Phyrexian Rager. I think if there's a land on top right now, I wonder, do I want to put it in the graveyard or what? Okay, so that's gonna buff something. I mean, we don't really need it, and it would make our creature bigger, and it increased, you know, we're going to draw a real card now, too, so... And it's a land anyway, so there you go. I guess we'll play our big boy. And pass the turn. So far, this deck feels like I hoped it would. I don't have the finishing power, maybe, that I would like, but... You know, a couple Singer Connoisseurs did a good job, I guess, in that last game. So he went pretty deep on the enlist, which is interesting. Okay. Another Phyrexian Rager. It does give me something to reanimate with Bortuk Bone Rattle. Thank you for the sub, Hoover Dome. I think we just want to draw another Phyrexian Rager given the option. Alright, so let's attack with our Elfhame Worm. The awkward thing about what I just did is if I had put the Rager in there, then playing this and kicking it would have made a lot more sense. It makes less sense now. But I do think we still attack with Elfhame Worm. Probably Tortoise Trades. Yeah, I mean, I've thought about YouTube Shorts. I don't think it's something that plays to my talents as a content creator that much. But, you know, it's not bad. Black, green, red, white. So we have right now, we have a domain of 4. We're missing 1 more, which would let us reanimate that, which would be pretty absurd. But yeah, we'll play Phyrexian Rager number 1. Plains doesn't get us where we want to be. We'll play Phyrexian Rager number 2. Oh, hello, that does. Island. So now we can reanimate the big ol' worm, right? Yes, sir. That's pretty sweet. That's less than ideal, since they can buff their whole board. All right, we will mill this forest. Ooh, Hydromancer now, too. So I could make a copy of a big ol' worm next turn. Okay. Well, they are going to be able to buff their whole board, which isn't awesome, but I don't think it wrecks us too bad right now either. So we're going to play Bortuck Bone Rattle. Got our domain at 5, and we'll get back our worm. Hello. And pass. I mean, I could kick Urborg Repossession, but now there's really no reason to do that. Glad you enjoy the limited reviews, Hoover Dome. I hope they don't kill my worm, because I'd like to make a copy of it first. May be able to blow up Leyline Binding, which would not be great, because this thing is scary. Just a free attack every single turn. Can pretty much start sacking lands for Urg if I want to now, which is cool. So this is like our first deck of the day, certainly. Okay. Monstrous Warleech. Right now, you're not especially monstrous, but I think you'll be pretty good soon. So I think we just go ahead and draw it. It also, if we play it and kick it, can buff Urg, but we definitely want to just make an Elfhame Worm copy here more. So that's what we're going to do. I think we just rumble with both of them. I mean, we're going pretty wide. Yeah, that's a good block, unfortunately. So I think we want to kill the Brawler most of all. Trample and all that. But we can also just get it back later, which is disgusting. I don't think we do it now, but yeah. Next turn, we probably kick Monstrous Warleech. See where that gets us? Ooh. Okay. She's a 7/7. Time to find some of our removal. We will get rid of that. We do not draw the removal we wanted. The awkward thing is we could end up milling the removal we want if we kick Monstrous Warleech, and we can't get it back with Urborg Repossession. But it does make Urg better. And our Warleech, I mean, it can't really get bigger than a 6/6, I guess, but yeah. 16 cards left in our deck. Does give us another big creature that they have to contend with, if nothing else. And we'll also make Urg bigger, and then we have the 2/5/4s. Yeah, alright, we're going to kick it. Plus we have Urborg Repossession, so... We did, in fact, mill one of our removal spells. Which is a little less than ideal. So we could kick Urborg Repossession and get back Bortuck and another Urg, but that's not great either. So I think we probably just pass here. Don't love it, but... the options are not great. Good news is I can trade pretty aggressively with like the Elfhame Worm or Urg. And I can make Urg into a 5/5 if I sack a land, which is nice. Do they rumble here? No. No rumbling. Yeah. Trying to decide if I want to sack a land for the life and the... I mean, I think we do. At this point. We'll lose a swamp. Gibbering Barricade. Doesn't seem great here. I mean, it can help us draw more stuff, I guess, but I can also just get it later if I want to. I'd rather find some removal. Yeah, the Death Touch is nice, that's for sure. So I could cast Urborg, Repossession, but we still have so few creatures in our graveyard that it's awkward. So kind of think we just pass again. This is where the lack of finishing power is kind of a bummer. If we had our flyer, I guess we'd be okay, but good chance they have something in their hand that could kill the flyer. Granted, we have like multiple ways we could get it back. That is not good. So that buffs their whole board. Alright, they decide not to attack. We go ahead and do this again. We could get a land back, you know, that's a thing, but... removal and or... not that. No, thank you. Oof. We don't have that much removal left in our deck, I guess. And yeah, it's hard for us to finish them here. It's really too bad we haven't been able to mill more, like, real cards. Because then, like, if we had our Connoisseur, for example, like, we'd be able to bring it back 2 different ways. And, yeah, but that's not where we're at right now. Okay. Just have to end the turn again. We're running low on green mana a little bit. Yeah, kind of. So let's sack a swamp. That's a large Urg, but still not nearly as large as that Queen Allendal is. Hey, there's Singer Connoisseur. Okay. That could help us close out this game. So even if they can kill it, we have Urborg Repossession, which will let us get it back. But obviously, they could slow us down substantially just by killing it. What a clogged board this is. Oh, well, I can't do anything about that, so that's sad. So we're going to mill out before they do, obviously, since we've been milling ourselves. Can we win? I mean, if I get removal for Queen Alanal, I do have several good attacks. So that's a thing. We don't really need Domain anymore, although I guess we kind of do, actually. Oh, God, I don't want the Vivisector. I need removal. Okay, that's a flyer. Interesting. Yeah, so we'll play... Obviously, the clock is not in our favor here, but it is a flyer. The awful thing is they still have Charismatic Vanguard, so even if I do kill Queen Alanal, he can just buff his whole team, basically. That's what we're looking at. Alright, throw that in the graveyard. 3 cards left. I know I have one more Extinguish the Light somewhere. But, yeah. Take that. Alright, so I think we're looking at a situation where we may as well just cast Urborg Repossession, try to get things going in general on the board. Yeah, so I think we just do it. We're just going to do it. Because at this rate, we're going to have to try to win in one swing. So, you know. So we get back Bortuk, and we get back another... We want things that can attack. Another Phyrexian Vivisector. Oh, this does actually shrink my Warleech, doesn't it? That's kind of a bummer. Yeah. Whoops. That's probably not ideal. If I had to guess, you know. Why don't you have Trample? 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. So he's got 8 mana. Can buff everything once. Cut down does not deal with anything, really. Because they can buff their whole board here. So it's pretty ugly. So we're just going to put it there. Yeah. There's the other Extinguish to Light. Our second to last card. Okay, well, yeah. So let's go ahead and Extinguish the Light. Do we want to hit Queen Alanal, or do we want to hit the Vanguard at this point? Because at this point, we want... we're just going to swing once is the thing. So it almost doesn't matter what we get rid of. I guess I'm going to attack first, actually, for 1 in the air. So maybe we just hold on to Extinguish for now. There's no reason to use it yet, actually, because... Yeah, we have plenty of mana, and next turn we're going to swing out. So let's go ahead and play Bortuk Bone Rattle here. Reanimate a thing. We do want it to be able to attack, although the Barricade can... Well, no, it would lose us the game. So yeah, we just grab a Metal Worker this time. Mana Worker, Metal Worker... End our turn. So we got 1 card left. We're obviously not putting that on the bottom. Into the graveyard, I mean. Okay. Well, don't think we can do lethal. The only interesting thing about Extinguish the Light is I can actually wait to use it, and that's pretty good for our Tramplers. So I think we wait. So, everybody ready to swing? What's gonna happen? Oh no, what are they doing? Oh, that's cruel. That's wrong, and it's cruel, and I don't think we can win now. I don't know if we could have anyway, but you know. If they let both, like, 1 Trampler through and we can kill the other thing blocking a Trampler, we might be able to kill them. But I don't know why they would, because they know all they have to do is wait until my next turn and I lose. So, right now that Trampler is not blocked, though. Oh, it's actually not enough for us to win. It is if the Swarm also gets through, though. Oh my god. Are we going to sneak lethal in here? Is it possible? No, don't go back and block a Trampler. Let the Trampler through. Everything's fine. Everything's fine. All right. I think we might have just won. It depends on what he has in his hand. Oh my god. Can you protect Queen Alanal? I don't think they can. Oh my god, do we just do lethal? Oh my god. Oh, that was crazy. That was crazy. Oh. Beat a Hall of Famer. What does that mean? Nothing really. But that was an epic game. That was an epic game. And I'm a little surprised he didn't block both Tramplers, if I'm being honest with you. Because the chances that the one card in my hand was removal was pretty reasonable, but it was also such a crazy board state that it's hard to think of those things sometimes. No black mana. Nothing we can play early. That's a mulligan. Okay, this is much better. Send back Vivisector, I think. Yeah. Yeah, that was a wild game. That threat's undetected, man. That's what did it for us. I don't know that we should be playing it, but it worked out okay in that particular game. You know, making somebody trade their, like, one drop for, you know, their Death Toucher for yours is brutal, but we do have ways to get it back, and it would maybe help them get... Yeah. He was left stunned, really? I'm gonna have to send him, have to tweet him after the event is over or whatever. I mean, it was pretty crazy, so I don't blame him too much. Yeah, 2 for 1. The Mana Worker can help us cast our silly Urg, which is cool. Wow, drew both of them. So we will attack with a Phyrexian Rager. And I could play Threats Undetected and get a bunch of, like, cheap creatures. I could get, like, Phyrexian Rager and our Mana Creature, but I think just playing Salvage Mana Worker is probably better. That game was epic. Maybe that one will get me into the highlight reel for next time, too. I don't know. That was, like, the only way we could win. Ooh. You don't have anything on your board, which is good news, but... Oh my god! Luckily that goes to the bottom of their library, because Temporal Firestorm would destroy us, but, oh my goodness, our mana is ugly. Okay, so we do attack him, obviously, enough so that if they do play creatures this turn, they can't use his -3. Then we'll play an Urg. Thank you, Mana Worker. We do get that one. It's kind of funny, like, if I have a land on top, making Urg into a 1/5 when a Johnny's around is kind of good, but I do really need a 4th land, and I can actually kill a Johnny with Extinguish the Light, so if it's a swamp, I definitely... Yeah. Okay, so it is a black source. I can't play it right away, but, yeah, I do think we... I mean, I can play it, but I can't use the mana right away. Do we get to kill a Johnny? They probably have removal here. They do. But we still get his loyalty down low enough that he won't be able to put counters on creatures this turn. And then we do this, and then we do this. Threats Undetected. So we definitely want... Monstrous Worm's not very good here. We'll grab Elfhame Worm. Let's see. Obviously, Bortuk's good, but we're so far away on the mana that I'm less than enthused about the idea. So I guess we'll get Connoisseur, Elfheim Worm, and then another Rager? In case we don't draw a land or whatever. Yeah. Oh, we still need one more. I guess maybe it is just Monstrous Warleech. We don't have... Oh, we do have blue, actually. So that makes it a lot better. Yeah. Thank you for the follow. Kiss my biceps. What do they give us? Probably the Worm and the Rager. Probably. And I mean the black worm, not the green one. W-O-R-M, not W-U-R-M, you know? All right. They actually gave me the 2 expensive ones, which I guess kind of makes sense. Okay, Keldon Flame Sage is pretty scary, but if what they do here is play it, I don't need to worry about it just yet. Although I guess it does protect a Johnny. But I can just kill a Johnny, so I guess I don't care. Okay. I do think we put this in the graveyard. We don't want a random 2-drop right now. Cut down once again, looking kind of not so good here. But all right, so we kill a Johnny. Yeah, we definitely kill a Johnny. Goodbye, a Johnny. And then we end our turn.
You'll join us soon, anyway.
Sorry, you got completed, buddy. That's a scary creature, just because it can buff other creatures so effectively. Alright, we definitely block. We have another Urg in our hand, so... Fifth land. Do we like a 5th land? I mean, yeah. Yeah. I don't know that we actually play it this turn. I mean, we do play the land, but I don't know if we play a 5-drop this turn. Yeah, we'll get the land. And... so, right now, when this attacks, it will give full +5/+5. Yeah, we need to kill that. We will be extinguishing the light. We can kill the Flame Sage with our cut down, so... get rid of that thing. I guess I should have attacked for 1 there. I don't know why I wouldn't. Goblin Picker joins the party. Alright, so we're going to cut down the Flame Sage. There we go. That's what it's supposed to do. Warleech. How big are you right now? You're 4/4? That's okay. I can live with that. Yeah, it is weird they did it the way they did. They did it sort of like a color pie, I guess is the idea. So it kicked Warleech. Does set up some nice stuff, but... because it would make this bigger. But we don't have any other real graveyard stuff right now, so... I think we'd probably just play our Elfheim Worm here and pass. We don't have our white mana yet, which... oh, well, I guess we sort of do, because we have our salvaged mana worker, but... yeah, flyer's kind of a problem. I guess we have our own flyer, so it's less of one, but... yeah, we do want to draw him. We've got all kinds of graveyard nonsense going on at this point. So we know they don't have anything, so I think we play Singer Connoisseur first. And then, oh, they can blow up our Mana Worker. That's not a huge deal. It will be if we draw our own Leyline Binding, I guess, but... And then we attack with Elfhame Worm. So we're at blue, black, green, red. So we're at 4, so we can't reanimate a worm just yet, but we could in the future. This has overperformed a little. I mean, it's a small sample size, but because we've been able to just give up creatures and then get them back various ways, it's just been like, you know, let's do this. So, yeah. They can only make it a 4/4. So, I wonder if they have Mass Pump. Yeah, if you're colorblind, then it's a really bad plan the way they did it. I guess you can sort of see maybe that it's filled in, but not so much. So if you want to exert or whatever it is, you don't want to attack with your Cavalier. It's not super intuitive, as we learned earlier. It's easy to click to attack when that's not what you're actually trying to do. I do think we block both of these things if this is really what's attacking us. And it does look like that's... Nope, that's... Yeah, you have to hover over it, hit enlist, and then don't click on the other one until after you click attack, yeah. It is sort of unintuitive because it makes you feel like you haven't clicked what you need to, but, yeah. So yeah, Urg definitely blocks. Like I've been saying, we have another one in our hand, so who cares if they can kill our, our Urg here. Ooh. Well, don't love that. I guess Urborg Repossession is actually pretty reasonable right now. Yeah. So we'll draw it. We're gonna kick it right away and get back Elfhame Worm and Battlefly Swarm. We can't actually give the Battlefly Swarm Death Touch this turn, but if they decided to attack us anyway, you know, then we have a good attack right back at them, so. They can make this Steel Crusher a lot bigger. That's for sure. That is for sure. Oh, I can give it Death Touch. You're right. You are correct. Maybe they'll make the same mistake I just made. Kind of doubt it. Yeah, they can buff this pretty big here if they really wanted to, and that would be annoying. But I could just play Bortuk Bone Rattle and bring back Battlefly Swarm. So, right, there's their own War Leech. Oh my. That is an 8/8 War Leech. Yeah, they're trying to... They are sort of successfully getting bigger than we are. Scout the Wilderness. I don't really think we want that. I mean, I guess it would set up our domain, but we can't kick it. Well, I guess we can because of Salvaged Mana Worker, but a couple of 1/1s doesn't seem that great to me here, so I think we just get rid of it. All right, so another Contaminated Aquifer, huh? We have played most of our removal, and the one that we haven't played is... Oh, we already played our Urborg thing, didn't we? So if we did mill our Leyline Binding, we can't get it back, unfortunately. Yeah, we're just going to play this Elfhame. Ooh, I guess if we do that, we don't have enough mana left over to do things. So maybe we just want to play Monstrous War Leech as a 4/4. Yeah. That is what we want to do. Yeah, we have played most of our removal, unfortunately. Both Extinguishes and Cut Down. This looks like another board state that's going to be pretty stalled out. or our opponent's going to try to mill us out. Yeah, that goes to the graveyard. We don't really need a random forest. Okay. So play our Elfheim Worm. Gibbering Barricade would be interesting right now, because I could start sacking things. Having this Urg, you know, getting both our Urgs has been a little brutal, but I guess I'll be okay. I'm a little surprised I haven't sent in the Steel Crusher at all, because there's no good way for me to block it, which is weird. Like, it's only got 2 toughness, but the, you know, we don't have any, like, expendable 2-power creatures, so. Okay, so blue, red, green, black. We've only got 4 as our current domain. So I don't really think I should block here. I mean, I could block with Battlefly Swarm and then reanimate it with Board Tuck, I guess, but I think taking 2 here is fine. Doesn't concern me a whole lot. Vivisector again. It's just so mediocre. It is a creature that I can play, and maybe that should be enough. But I don't think so. Okay, that's a lot better. 4, 5. So we can kick this. Do we want another Connoisseur? Another Battlefly Swarm? Probably another Connoisseur. It does mean we won't have Death Touch online this turn, but I think the trade-off is well worth it, so. Wonder if they have counter magic. Alright, so yeah, we make a copy, make another flyer for sure. And we pass. So, you know, we've played 2 sort of polar opposite decks. We played like a, ooh, that's not good. So they're going to bounce our token so it no longer exists. That's sad. We played like a super aggro deck in our first draft, and this one we're playing like grindy graveyard nonsense. It's been a good time. Yeah. You're gonna attack with that as a... You're gonna tap your 8-power creature? Wow. That gives us reasonable attacks on the backswing, so I'm a little surprised. And we definitely just block with our Hydromancer. Does mean we take 7, so they may have a trick or something, I guess. Oh, they do. Trample trick. That means I'm dead. Yeah. That makes more sense. So they were trying to find a window for that the whole time. Yeah, combining Trample with Big Enlist is pretty gross. Pretty gross. That was rough that they had the bounce spell and then they had the trick, but, you know, yeah. Can our deck actually win if we, you know, don't take forever? I don't know. Did our first game take forever? I know our second and third ones did, but I can't remember our first game anymore. This, given how fast it's going, this may be my last draft of the day, yeah. It seems likely, in fact, because there's about an hour and a half left that I can stream. And we have at least 2 games left, so it seems unlikely that I'll get everything done, and then, you know. Seems okay. Yeah. Definitely need a third land, but, you know, once we get there, we're in decent shape, I think. I mean, it depends on what you like in Limited. I don't think a slow game is necessarily balanced, because if every game is slow, then that's kind of a problem. But if slow decks and fast decks and mid-range decks are all viable in sort of in a rock, paper, scissors situation, then yeah, that's good. I guess I'm going to play the Conscript. We haven't milled this and then got it back yet, which is a little sad. That's kind of what I thought we'd do in this deck with it, but nope. Just sort of been around. Flowstone Kavu. I do like that card. I think I'd rather play the Rager than the Gardener here. Good chance that between the card we draw with it and the card we draw next turn, we hit a fourth land anyway. You know, or maybe not. Magic Arcanum. Yeah, I don't follow a lot of the lower content creators, but I do recognize that username. You know, if I get him to use Lightning Strike on Phyrexian Rager, feels pretty good, right? Since it's a 2-for-1 situation. All right, so we're going to have to play some other things than what I wanted to do. So we will attack with our Conscript. Then I guess we play Battlefly, Swarm, and Salvaged Mana Worker. We do have Urborg Repossession, so, you know, aggressively double blocking is sort of a thing, although it's not really going to work out. Sheevan Reef. It's fun to see all these old school Pain lands from the original Invasion block with, you know, new art and everything. So we just take this. I wonder if they buff it to 4? No. No, they don't. Ooh. God, the fact I didn't play... Get my 4th land going is looking really bad now. Because now they can double spells and stuff. You know, I could have played this a while ago, but it didn't really work out. So we're going to attack with our Swarm because we're not going to have the mana to give it Death Touch anyway. If they can double some spell here, there's a good chance we lose as a result of it. Yeah. I do think I probably just block Najal with my Gardener and hope we draw a 4th land. Does kind of need to be a swamp, I guess, which is kind of brutal, but yeah. We will block. So they get a double Lightning Strike. Come on, untapped Swamp. Off the top. We'd only take 2 in the end. My goodness. We are in some trouble. So I could kick Urborg Repossession. But I guess just playing the Barricade is probably what we want to do. Yeah. Chances are good they have more spells to double, but not much I can do about that fact. So, Do I double block it again and hope they can't blow me out? I mean, they're... Yeah. They really can blow me out now. Like, with the Death Toucher, they had to target one of the lightning strikes at the Death Toucher. If I try to double block Najal with, like, a 2-4 and a 2-1, they can... Well, they still have to point one at one of them, I guess. But then they kill the other. But I kind of feel like it's what we got to do here to have any chance. What a surprise. Why didn't they double that? Interesting. Need that 4th land, and I got a 4th land, but it's not what I wanted. Crap. Oh yeah, it is, because I have Mana Worker. The bad news is this Flowstone Kavu can probably still kill us. But, you know, we'll go ahead and kill this before any spell doubling or things happen. And we'll end our turn. I guess a 5th land gives us our Worm, which would be good. But this Menace is a problem. When we can't really... I mean, we can't really block it. Oh, good. And now there's another big creature. We take 3. Go to 7. Okay, so we can play our Worm, which can at least trade for the Terror. Is there any value in using Urborg Repossession? Not really. We'll just play our big creature. Yeah, we had a good time with our own Flowstone Kavu in that last game. Urborg Repossession will get us to back up to 9. For what that's worth. Man, if they have removal for the Worm or bounce spell or whatever, it is over. Yep, they do. Goodbye. So I have to block Tolarian Terror here to survive. They could have done 1 more damage to us. And... yeah, that doesn't help. That does not help. Had a good first couple games. Beat Reed Duke in an epic game. And now... now we're looking at a 2-2. Alright, seems fine. We can play this out on turn 3 if we have to. Kind of hope we don't. If they're not having a fast start, then we can just cast Threats Undetected on turn 3. Without feeling too bad about it, I think. Dang. They're going aggro. It's always nice to draw your 1-drop on turn 2, you know? I probably just trade for this thing if it attacks us. Yeah. We even get to scry. Oh, that's an awkward one. So we're going to shuffle our deck anyway, so I don't hate putting it on the bottom. We just have no white mana right now, so... the deck that beat Reed Duke. That's funny. So... I could just cast Threats Undetected here. It's not like I can play a real blocker this turn. So I think that is what we do. Our inability to get our second black the last couple games has been a little brutal. But what we can do, let's see. So, Urg is pretty good. I mean, we don't have double black yet, but other than that, Urg would be good. So I think a Rager, a Deathbloom Gardener, an Urg, and what, like an Elfhame Worm? Yeah. Give me 2 creatures, please. I wonder how many more clerics they have. We have cast this like every game, and I don't think it's particularly good based on how it's felt. I mean, you know, it's like a really roundabout divination, so it's not terrible, but I think I gave it a C+, and it's probably more like a C-, if I had to guess. Makes sense. Maybe I should have grabbed... No, they both have 1 power, so I couldn't have grabbed 2 mana creatures, unfortunately. Okay, well, that's not so good. So we're just going to have to run out Hydromancer and Cult Conscript. Yeah, that's a big creature. Well, yeah, I think we're going to go ahead and trade. Ugh, our ability to draw mana these last 2 games has not been good. Okay. I guess our opponent's stuck on 3, but their deck can clearly function on less mana. They can kill our conscript here. I don't know that we can come back. Yeah, and they can. So they attack us for 7. Okay. That doesn't really help that much. Sad. We're going to have a weird amount of time left. Like, almost enough time to do one more, but not really. Because we're going to end up losing this game so quickly. These last 2 games have both been lost very quickly. Is our mana terrible? I mean, I don't think it's terrible, but maybe it's not great. We got to do some wild stuff, you know, obviously, as the game against Reed Duke illustrates. But the games where we sort of stumbled early, we just got wrecked. And yeah, if they kill Mana Worker here, attack us for 7... yeah. I mean, they can actually attack with the Cavalier, and, well, they don't need to now. So they're only going to attack us for 6. That's good, right? We can bring back our Cult Conscript. That kind of matters. Yeah. We're at 3. All right, let's do it. Let's go to 2. We gotta land. We're at 2. We gotta block both of these creatures. Oh, man. Extinguish does gain us 3 when we kill this, but I don't think it's gonna be too little too late. Phyrexian Rager was not what you want to draw in that situation. Like, at least we could play a blocker, I guess, but you know what I mean. If I had more mana, I could actually bring back the Conscript again, but I do not have more mana, so... Maybe they won't play anything else? Oh no, they will. Okay, there's white mana. 3, 4, 5. Wow. So we can actually play Bortuk Bone Rattle now. Get back like the Hydromancer and keep ourselves alive a little bit longer. Green, black, yeah. That is the play. Too bad I can't play both Urgs, but yeah, we play Bortuk here. I wish I had something that just had Death Touch already, but, you know. Do I get Vivisector so I can scry when I block? Yeah. Yeah, that's not bad. Hydromancer is a 3/2. Doesn't make much of a difference on this board. They both die to the same removal, too, so... Yeah. We're trying here. We're trying. Oh. What's on top of our deck? Yeah. All right. We're dead. Hello, Phrasing Boom. It's good. It's good. This has been, you know, we didn't have a great record on the day. We went 4-3 and 2-3, but we tried out 2 decks that are like polar opposites, and they did both seem functional. One was an aggro deck. This one was a grindy one. You know, maybe our mana wasn't great with this one in the end.